is to be on the Lit Outlet podcast. Have you been here before?
Yeah, fool, Southgate all day. I feel like the waifu in the barrio.
Mm.
You gotta fucking like the waifus always they gotta prove it, dog. Like not have to, but I'm saying I've noticed like when it's like the white kid in the neighborhood or whatever, they have to fucking prove shit fool that they're with it as much as all the other little kids. Whenever people see me, they're always like, "Wait a minute, Your Majesty!" Every time. When I see them, we don't got a lot of time. I'll be like, "Hey!" They'll be like, "3 plates." I'll be like, "What's up, G?"
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses. We're taking a second from this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by us, The Lit Outlet. The best way to support the channel is to like, comment, subscribe on every episode. Don't forget the reels on Instagram. Don't forget the shorts on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and comment on everything you see from The Lit Outlet. Also, another big major way you can support the channel is to join our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. You keep the channel alive by pledging $1 every month. You can also do $3, $5, $10, $20. But all I'm asking, if you're a Liddy and you're enjoying the content, to at least join our Patreon for $1 a month. Another way you can support the channel is to buy some merch. We got hoodies for 40 and we got t-shirts with this logo for 25 bucks. If you want to support the channel, those are the best ways. But also, if you want to just keep enjoying the content for free, you can do that too. I don't mind. So I want to say thank you to all of our Liddies who are watching, liking, subscribing to all of our content here. Now let's get back to the show. What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka Knomoe, chilling right here inside the Lit Outlet studio with another episode of the Lit Outlet podcast. I got a very special guest in the building. I got Mr.
3 plates in a building. What's up, everybody? Right here at the Lit Outlet, holding it down. Southgate in the house. Brought me out here. Check me out. We're doing comedy. We're gonna be talking about all the shows that we got coming up. Everything that's coming up. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah. Well, first of all, 3 plates, welcome to Southgate. The first and last time you're ever going to be in Southgate, because the only time fools pull up to Southgate is to be on the Lit Outlet podcast. Have you been here before?
Yeah, fool. Southgate all day.
That's
I
right.
used to be fucking, I used to come right here to Greenspan.
That's right.
OG Greenspan. Since we were little, my mom's friend came right here. She used to be right here, Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
You were telling me about Cypress, but Cypress Hill known for being out here, but for Greenspans. That's why I used to come out here. Like the main reason to come shopping, get panel tins and fucking Ben Davis and Frisco's, Solos.
The biggest 501s you've seen in your life.
Dog, the big old pants that they have right there in the front, huh? You're like, damn, look at these big ass pants.
I was telling you that when you got here that Southgate is known for 2 things. It's Greenspans and Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
And then Greenspans, when you walk in there, it was like a time machine. Like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Like the dust is still there from the 60s.
Yeah. I wrote my name here in dust back in the day. It's still here.
But it's also almost like a museum of like homie clothes or whatever, or like a gangster clothes, because you walk in there and it shows you all the movies they've done, like Colors, Boys in the Hood, Blood In, Blood Out, right?
La Bamba.
Everything.
The shirt that fool Babo was wearing, you know those shirts with 2 lines?
Yeah.
They got those right there, the bowling shirts, player shirts.
Hell yeah.
Well, I seen them throwing away, like not throwing away. I guess they were donating all this clothes, but like sick ass clothes, a whole big ass container. They were just unloading like old pants, like dress pants, shirts, like Ben Davis jackets, everything. I'm like, what's happening? They're throwing it away. He's like, no, we're donating it. I was like, where's it going? I'm gonna follow this truck.
Donate it to me.
But yeah, fool, they have clothes from back in the day, fool, since like the 40s.
Yeah. I was also telling you, I saw this YouTube video of this guy. I think he's a white boy. I don't know who he is, but he's a thrifter. He goes to different thrift shops, and he became homies with those fools. And those fools love talking about the history. The people who work there, Evan and his dad, and I don't know who's who, but they're like 4th generation in. They love talking about the clothes.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we got a room in the back that hasn't been open since whatever. So this fool had to climb to the back and fucking crowd surf on the boxes.
Yeah.
And he was opening boxes from the 20s, the 30s, the 50s. Shit with dust.
Fools die for that.
Yeah, he was
like fools go crazy for shopping for like vintage stuff.
And it's never been worn before. It's still in the wrapping. Like they got some fucking.
What do they call it? New old stock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least with like old cars, like if you get shit like a bumper or something from like the 50s, it's not. They call it new old stock, brand new, but that's just from back in the day. Yeah, not a remake or repop, and that's what goes. Fool, like people like. Fool, you'll buy a pair of pants for like 4 G's that's from the 50s. Worn, somebody worn, dirty. They're from the 50s though, fool, 8,000. Like break bread for these motherfuckers. Like people go crazy. I got a homie that he started a business of just doing vintage furniture. Like he had stuff from the 70s, vintage, modern, so with like wood and all this, like cool chairs and lounge chairs. These you'll be surprised that they'll have these lounge chairs. They'll be like $2,000, fool. And people will be like, "Oh, if you would have seen it, you were like, throw this chair out, dog. Get this shit out of here, old ass chair."
Yeah.
And fool, 6,000. Even like a little chair, fool, like a bench, like a little stool or something, you wouldn't think nothing of. It would be like $800. You'd be like, "Damn, what the hell?" When these fools know how to, like, if you know what's up with the old stuff, you have that eye, you could get a lot of money for that shit and even clothes.
I think obviously to me, like especially hearing you talk and watching you on different podcasts, the way you dress, you kind of have a love for a certain era of American culture, right? What is
Yeah.
your favorite, fool?
Well, I don't know. Like I always been into like old cars, like bombs and rockabilly music and shit. I'm not like rockabilly because fools go all crazy into like I'm just like black t-shirt dude, you know. And but yeah, I've always been into like that style of like rockabilly ish, punk rock, fucking not like I don't know, just my own shit. I'm not into Jordans and all that shit, dog. I never was into. I like Air Maxes. I'll fuck with that, and New Balance and shit like that. So some Nikes, but I was never like a Jordan dude.
You're I kind of feel like you're like almost not anti-culture, but you're like instead of focusing on what everyone likes, let me focus on this little thing that no one knows about. Let me
Yeah,
blow off
yeah,
the dust off of it.
yeah.
Where does that come from?
And then fools would be like, "Oh, I like that shit," and then they get into that. I don't know, dog. It's just I've always I don't know. I've always been into like different shit, trying out different styles and whatever. And I don't know. I just like I don't know, dog. I don't know really know what happened or
Or like
where
who
all
got you
that
into it?
into music and old school,
Yeah.
like low riding and all that. I've always done that. Like I've always liked that from my cousin Oscar.
Okay.
Our cousin Oscar, he used to always low ride since like late 70s. He's always had a low rider, and when we were kids, he used to always have different cars, and that got us into cars and that culture. And I used to always like music, and my homies were like punk rock fools. I grew up in the desert, so I grew up in like a little town called Ridgecrest, and like all my homies were like punk rock kids and musicians and stuff like that. So I was just always into the scene, but I was never like a punk rocker, like hardcore fool or nothing like that. I was just into everything pretty much. Like I was homies with everybody, dog. Like the baseball players, fucking the stoners, the punk rockers, the fucking even the white power kids. Like and where I grew up, fool in Ridgecrest, it's like it's uh white. Like everyone's pretty much not what 80% white. Like you know, there's people here and there, different races here and there, but mostly it's like white, dog. And that's where I first heard when fools would say white power. I'll be like, what the fuck is the white power? And they'll be like, oh, that means like they're the supreme white power. Like fools would write SWP, and I'm like, what is that? And they'll be like supreme white power. And I'm like, what does that mean? They'll be like, just white, like white's the best or whatever, you know? I'm like, what the hell? Trip out.
How old were you when you saw that?
Little kid, fool, second grade, third grade. Little kid, dog, but not even that. Like I would see that, and fools would be like, oh, they'll be racist, but like, they'll be like, yeah, we're white power, but you're cool. I'm like, all right, cool, you know. They were like, yeah.
Why were you cool? Why were you cool?
I'm like, I guess because I was just.
But
I was
you
cool
always
with
been
them,
funny.
you know? Yeah, I've always just been cool with everybody. Like, I don't know. I just and I don't know. I was just like not the jokester, but I was just cool with everybody, you know. Yeah. I always get in trouble fool when I was little though, and like in seventh grade, dog, almost every day I would get sent home, fool.
For what though?
Just for talking in class and distracting.
You're like
fools,
a class clown.
Know? Yeah, kind of. I used to just think I was smarter than all the fucking, like, man, this shit ain't even like doing work and shit. And I'll be like, this shit is easy. I'll be like, fuck this shit. I'll finish and then I'll just start fucking with fools. Like, and they'll be like, get this fool out of here. And the teacher, you know, I'll be like, why did you send me home? Send me to a different class, dog. Like, I had one teacher, Mr. Norton, fool, in seventh grade. I was in a choir, and I used to be in Mr. Norton's class. He's a computer teacher, and that fool, I would always be singing. Always in this class, I would be singing, and people would be like, "Hey, tell me sing this song or sing like this," and fucking, I would just be singing, dog, and everyone would be tripping out on it. And he one day he got up and he's like, "Hey, come with me," and we fucking went down all the way down the hall to the end of the class to the choir, like choir, the music fucking classroom. And he talked to the music teacher, and he's like, "Hey, this kid, he sings fucking amazing. He fucking sings really good. He's distracting everybody. He should be in here. Can you put him in a choir or something?" I'm like, "I don't." He's like, "You got to be in a choir, dude." And I got into a choir, fool. And like out of nowhere, I was like at Disneyland singing.
What?
Yeah, fool. They brought us to Disneyland to perform, fool. The whole choir.
In the parade.
And like our choir, you know how they have like a theater at Disneyland?
Oh, yeah.
And fools can go and watch they had a competition with different school choirs, and I was one of them, like on Sister Act 2 and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was us. We didn't win or nothing, but we sang My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion, fool. I had one of the solo parts and shit. I thought it was a play. I was a Mac, too, back then.
You were macking on bitches?
Fool, when I was a kid, fool, hell yeah, fool, on the ride there. Motherfuckers were playing rock, paper, scissors, and fucking, I don't know what we were doing, but fool, I was kissing girls and shit, like
multiple girls in the same
yeah,
bus.
Like oh fool, I remember that shit. My homie's like, fool, you kissed like 4 girls, fool, all crazy. And then fool, just a little ass kid, fool, being 7th grade, you know.
Well, in 7th grade, fool, you had like a Michael Jackson voice, like ABC, or you already kind of like your balls had dropped?
Nah, fool, and I still sound like a girl, fool. I remember, dog, fool, the funniest shit.
Like a girl.
Fool, I sound like a little. Well, I would call fucking the party line because my cousin would call the party line, fool. And we would be, and I would try to get on the party line and fucking be like, "What's up, girl?" And I'm saying, and they'd be like, "What girl? Who the fuck is this? Are you a girl?" I was like, "No, what's up?" They were like, "Little kid, get the fuck off the phone." I was like, "Fuck," and just fool. I would just be trying to chop it up. One time I called Power 106.
Mm-hmm.
Fool, Power 106 did me, dog. It was around this time, fool, Halloween, fool. And I called, because in Ridgecrest, you don't get the Power 106 or stations. But my brother connected it to like the cable or some shit, the radio, and we got Power 106, fool. So they would be like, "Hey, call in right now. You could win tickets to Halloween Hunt." And fool, I was calling, like sitting in on the phone, little kid. And fool, I got in, and they're like, "Hey, name these songs you're gonna win." And I was like, "Hell, you got an autograph poster by Busta Rhymes."
Damn.
And 4 tickets to Halloween Hunt.
Sick.
I was like, and a T-shirt or some shit. I was like, "Hell yeah!" So I called, and I won, fool.
No.
And then they're like, "All right, girl, what's your name?" I was like, I'm like, "Tommy, it's me." I was like that one fool. Remember fucking Victor Fuentes? When are you, a male? He's like, "I'm a boy, a boy." That fool. I was like, "Nah, it's me. I'm a boy. My name is Tommy." And he's like, "Hey." He's like, "Oh, well, all right. Can you even get into Halloween Hunt by yourself?" I was like, "Man, what, you motherfuckers got jokes or what?"
You said that?
Yeah, fool, little ass kid, fool, going in. And then it was Big Boy, too. And if I see that fool, I was like, "Fool, it's on." It's on with Big Boy on site, fool.
It's to this day.
If I see him as Tom and Jerry, fool, I got the ticket. Fool, I got the tickets, fool, and they were used. Like, I was like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Like, like, fool, like, we went, and they're like, "Nah, these are invalid tickets, like, are used or something." I was like, "Hey, what?" I'm like, "I won these on Power 106. I'm like, "Nah, I won these on the radio and shit. Like, what's up? These are tickets they sent me." And they're like, "Nah, this shit fucked up, dog." I'm like, "Fool, we drove all the way from Ridgecrest." So I'm saying, go to Halloween Hunt. Nah, Ridgecrest is like in the desert, fool. Like Mojave, Lancaster.
Damn.
Fool.
It was like 2 hours?
It was a minute. From here, it's 3 hours.
Fuck.
Fool. And we came, like, you know, to visit family and shit, but they're like, "Hey, we got those tickets that weekend. We're going to go to Halloween Hunt. We got 4 tickets, my cousin, my sister, everyone. Fool, we're going to go." Like pumped up, fool.
Hell yeah, as a kid.
Shit,
And you
right
won
here,
them.
dog. I got these shit.
You
on
won
one
'em.
trip. And then fucking, fool, we went, doop, doop. And they're like, these are invalid. Like, I was like, what do you mean this is what they sent me? And they're like, I was like, I won. Oh my God, a Busta Rhymes poster with the autograph. They're like, nah, these ain't good. I was like, damn, fool. I was like, crying, fucking laugh. Little ass kid, all mad, fool. Everyone was like, man, what the fuck? I think we just went, so I don't know where we went, fool, but man, fucked up shit. That's why, fool, it's like, if I see Big Boy right now, fool, don't even, I'm not even gonna give him a warning. I'm gonna tell him after, like, hey, what happened? Like, fool, when I was 12, like, you sold me some tickets and they weren't real, fool. We went all the way down there and they didn't let us in. Damn, homie, I'm mad right now thinking about it. Yeah. You ever won some shit and that shit didn't go through?
Nah, once I've won tickets before. I went and
Yeah?
I had to go pick them up at the iHeartRadio building.
Oh, say kind.
Yeah, Burbank. It looks tight in there.
Yeah, y'all looking around. You know, see if you see some. Hey, if you see some, take a camera. If you see somebody, fool, take a picture with them, dog. Huh?
Yeah, no, it's sick.
That's tight though. But I'm telling you, fool, Halloween Hunt. I worked at Halloween Hunt.
Yeah.
One time we worked at Knott's. Me and my brother. My brother was one of the monsters and shit. Was scared of fools.
Nah.
Yeah, and then I was just one of the fools that was sweeping around, picking up the trash, all that shit. I did that shit for like 2 weeks. My brother was like, I ain't gonna be no fucking monster. Like one day, he's like, fuck this shit, dog. I'm gone.
That shit low-key looks exhausting.
Yeah, he's like, fool, you gotta do that shit. You're hot and sweaty all fucking day. He's like, fool, fuck this shit, fool. He's like, hell no.
You're screaming for 8 hours.
You gotta fucking hit him with the cans. Fucking, they be doing noises on you. You be like, wait, what?
Breathing on you.
Hell no. Nah. Fools be trying to mac on their girl, huh? You be seeing fools in line just walking off fucking acá, macking, getting fools' ears. I remember my cousin met some girl at Halloween Hunt one day, and he's like, fool, she's from Paris, dog. We're like, damn. He's like, yeah, fool, I guess, like, from some French shit. I was like, and then he met up with her again, and he's like, nah, she's from Paris Lake.
Oh, it's different.
Lake Paris. Oh, he thought he was from Paris.
Like France.
Yeah, fool. He's like, oh, fool, I guess she's from Paris, dog.
she speaks perfect English.
He's like, fool, but it's her family or some shit. But yeah, she came all the way from Paris. I'm like, damn. And then he finally met her. He's like, nah, she was from Lake Paris. But hilarious shit. Just back in the day, fool. Shit at the Halloween Hunt. That's what it was.
Hey, fool, you're from the era where you have to go see for yourself type shit. Like, you can't just be on Instagram and, like, for a couple hours on a Friday night and be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, you're from an era with me too. Like, you have to leave the house to go have an experience type shit.
Like, let me go check this shit out real quick.
Go to a party or a store or the mall, whatever. What was one of the best places to leave your house and do over there when you lived over there?
In Ridgecrest? Go smoke a joint point.
Go smoke a joint.
It's called Smoke a Joint Point. It's like in the back of the college. There's like a hiking trail, but you could drive back there, and it's like a little mountain. And it goes up, and when you go up to the hill, you see all the whole town, and then you can see like the mountains and everything around. It's like a 360 view, you know. And fools go up there, and you just go and blaze and chill and kick back. And fools used to go up there and get, whoa, go fucked up at Smoke a Joint Point. Yeah. Fools got their car stuck up there because fools would just take a regular car. And you can't take a regular ass car. Some spots you could, but other spots like, dog, you try to do that shit in the fucking Buick? Yeah, you need a 4x4. The little fucking 4-door, you know what I'm saying, all low? Yeah. Like, no, you can't do that shit. But yeah, fool, out there was we would do a lot of lizard hunting. Like when I first got there, the main shit was like, yeah, we're from the city, like from out here. Like we were from Paramount, okay, and then we moved out there. So we're like, man, my dad brought us out here like out of nowhere, no warning or nothing. It's just like, all right, tomorrow we're moving. Damn. We just moved to fucking Ridgecrest. How old were you? First grade. No, first grade. Fool, right before first grade, summer, and then we went over there and. We're like, well, what are we gonna do? We seen little kids running around, and the little homies, because out there it's like a little town, so they're like, who's the new kids? And they came and talked to us. They're like, what's up? We chopped it up with them, and then they're like, oh, you guys want to lizard hunt with us? And we're like, what is that? And they're like, oh, we catch lizards. We're like, damn, you guys be catching lizards? Because you know, fools out here, they're scared. You see a lizard, little kids are like, hey, go inside. Close the door. The fucking lizard gonna go in.
Yeah.
So out there, these fools were catching lizards. They'll put them in buckets and then release them, write their names, whatever. And fool, we didn't know.
Write the name on the lizard?
Yeah. But fool,
Damn.
when you were a little kid, you would do that shit. They shed, dog. You can't see that shit again.
Yeah.
Try to catch that fool next year. Like, that shit's gone, homie. So my brother and me, we caught these lizards, and we filled up a fucking trash can full of sand, full but it was a tin one, like the metal ones, full of sand. We're like, hell yeah, we're gonna do a little, what is it? What are they called?
Like a little ecosystem. Like
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? We fucking put a little log. We had little toys in there and shit for them to chill and shit. Lettuce. Yeah, dog, like these fools don't eat lettuce.
Not a
fool.
rabbit, fool.
And then fucking, we didn't know. We were from the desert.
That's
fucking, we're from the city. So we threw the lizards in there. We had like 5 of them. And then we're like, let's go catch more. And we went and we came back, fool. When we came back, fool, they were all fucking... They were dead, dog. Damn. They were just like cooked, too hot. Like, damn. That was it. The last time that I lizard hunted was me and my homie went into the desert, and we chased a big ass lizard into a hole, fool. And we had shovels and everything, so we started digging into the hole where it ran into, and then the side, like we had a big ass hole, fool, deep. And then the side of the wall started like crushing, coming out all slowly. And we're like, what? My homie poked it, and a fucking million fucking lizards came out. Like a grip of them, dog. They just came out and started booking it, fool, all crazy. I think they were like hibernating or some shit. I don't know what was happening, fool. It was a grip of them, dog. We just threw the shovels and booked it home.
They were having a Diddy party?
Gone, dog. It was a Diddy party in the fucking in the desert.
In the oil.
We just booked it. Gone. Never went back. The shovels are probably still there.
Damn.
Like, dog, that was the last time that we ever went lizard hunting.
It was one of those cities that were like, you can kind of do anything and not get in trouble. Like, there's no cops.
Nah, fool, you get in trouble for anything you fucking do.
Oh, yeah?
We used to try to tag and shit, little kids. One time, like, you can't get away with shit over there. Because you're not bad shit, you know, if you're trying to do, everyone sees you. Fool, I went in town, like, not recently, like 10 years ago, I went, and just being in town, I was at the gas station putting gas, and the sheriff seen me. Now fool fucking pulled up, and he's like, hey, how you doing? Started questioning me. And he's like, can I take pictures of you and shit? I was like, the fuck?
Why?
And fool, and it ended up being some fool I went to school with. I was like, dog, you don't remember me, fool? He's like, we're not in high school no more, so I was like, dog, fuck you, dog. I was like, you're fucking lame. I was like, whatever.
Damn.
Fucking that fool took pictures of me, fool.
Just in case you did something.
No, he's like, you fit the description, and just in case. I was like, fool, what the fuck? He's like, you want to do it the easy way or the hard way? And I was like, man, fuck you, dog. Let's go. I'm trying to go home. And yeah, fool took pictures and shit. But yeah, fool, anything, like, it's a little town, fool. So they notice, like, oh, look at this fool. He's not from town. Like, motherfuckers got a Tesla, and they're like, hey, there was a Tesla in town yesterday. Yeah, like, damn, you know,
the
for
highlight,
real, shit like that.
The highlight of the week.
They're like one of the homies had one of the first raptors in town. Like that. They're like, oh, dude, there was a fucking raptor in town. Oh, that's fucking, this was Justin fucking McAfee. Whatever. You just names random fools, you know? That's James Smith. Fucking, that's their car. Like, damn, that's how it's a little town, fool. Yeah. But it's a solid ass little town, fool. Cool as fuck. Like, you know, some of my most solid homies are from there, you know? And you grew up being so close in a little town like that because we grew up from fucking first grade or kindergarten, fool, all the way till we graduated, you know? The same fucking bus, fucking, you know, if you know, when you rode the bus from first grade to fucking, you got a license, and you meet, it's the same people, dog. So everyone is like, why you still cool with fools from school and shit? It's like, because, dog, I known them my whole fucking life, dog. Like, you'll run into homies that I haven't seen in fucking 10 years, you know, and I grew up with them in Ridgecrest. You see them, they're like, that's my dog, you know, what's up, fool? Because we grew up together, you know. It's like, I don't know, you always have that love for these fools because we fucking, when we were in school our whole lives, every day, we fucking played together, we rode bikes, all that shit. Everyone's like, your homies with the fools, you know. Yeah. People are close in towns like that because it's not a distraction. Now here, fools, you never see a homie again. Like, oh, what happened to your friend from third grade? Like, fuck, I don't fucking know, and I don't even remember their name. Shit, But over there, you know them. You know their fucking parents. You know their cousins. Like, oh, they're cousins, and this fool's because it's a little town, dog. Everyone's like neat. And I don't know. That was one cool thing of being, from Ridgecrest.
Do you think like raising like your dad made the good decision as far as raising kids out there, or would you rather raise kids out here?
No, I think out there.
Why?
Well, we moved out there because like my brother started getting like kind of cholito, and my dad's like, nah, this was gonna turn. Before he gets full fucking fled into this shit, let's get out of here. So he went to Ridgecrest, and the same shit. My brother fucking was still fucking cholito for Ridgecrest.
Yeah.
And he would still come back and visit my cousins and shit, and it was the same shit. I was fucking like in third grade, fool. We were jump fools into fucking blood in, blood out to about those locals. Like we would write that shit on fools' names after we jumped them in the fucking we would be like, do. All right, cool, you're in. And then we'd put your hand, and then we'd write a fucking BL on their hand. All right, cool. Those little white fools, they were like, all right, cool.
You know what, fool? I'm from a generation, dog, that were like I was heavily influenced and easily influenced by movies and music.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be smoking weed and gang banging because that's the kind of shit I was into,
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays people are smarter than to know that it's just a movie.
Yeah.
But to me, dog, anything I would see on TV,
I was 8.
It was a real program. I was getting programmed to that shit.
Yeah.
Do you notice that, like, that you kind of like, or what was it? It was a game.
I don't know, fool. When I was a little kid, that's what it was. Fool, I had Cortezes, fucking. I would dress like a little cholito, and I would even ask my mom, like, hey, why would you let me dress like that? And she's like, well, that's how you guys want. That's what you like. The fuck. You weren't, like, I didn't know it was like you dressed like a little cholito. Well, one time, my sister, we were. I remember I went clothes shopping, and then I showed my sister. I was like, oh, look what I had, a fucking Player 69 jersey. A fucking shirt that said like like LA, but like all cholo, and big ass pants and shit. I was like, my sister's like, you dress like a cholo. She's like, why you dress? She's like, Mom, why you fucking tell me be dressed like? Why'd you buy him all this clothes? She's like, that's what he fucking likes. He's like, it's clothes. What? He's not a fucking bad kid or whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, for my whole life, I was like blood in, blood out, fucking boys in the hood type shit. But I was lucky I was in Ridgecrest. Well, if I was over here, it would have been on. I would have been for sure from somewhere.
Yeah, you would have
jail right now or something. For sure, motherfucker would have been in jail.
Singing in jail right now.
Yeah, right now.
Hey, fool, give you 2 soups, sing this song.
Homie, sopitas, full singing shit. The fucking fool could draw, fucking doing fool's letters. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm glad we went out there, because they would have been way different out here.
Isn't it crazy that, like, I think as far as like, you're super popular, you're super famous on Instagram for being on people's podcasts, but do you think people know you more for the blood in, blood out quotes, or now your new recent fame of like skits on Instagram?
No, I don't know. I think a lot of people know me because from podcasting so long. Like we did a lot of like I podcasted. We've been doing it for fucking like 4 years already, almost 5 years, being on podcast, and people see me just telling my stories. And blood in, blood out, dog. That was like blood in, blood out was I guess the original like what got me a lot known is fools would know me from blood in, blood out quotes, but it's just through podcasting, I think.
Yeah.
And then lately I've been doing like comedy and the skits and shit, but I think it's a lot of it's just from podcasting. Being on different podcasts.
Was podcasting like natural for you, or was it did you get nervous at first?
Well, at first, I didn't even I never all of this podcasting, comedy, everything. It wasn't what I was. My thing. I wanted to push my brand, dog.
Which was
BZZT.
Okay.
BZZT. That's our weed company and everything. That was my main focus, was to push that. So I did everything like to get it in everyone's face, to where people know that shit and they want it. So I was like, how can I do this? And I seen podcasting. My brother's the one who put me on to watch Joey Diaz's podcast.
Okay.
He's like, watch this old man. He's fucking funny. He's hilarious. He blazes. He tells stories about being fucked up. And at first, I didn't like Joey Diaz. I was like, I don't want to fucking listen to this old man tell stories about being fucked up. And then I listened to him, and I was stuck, dog. I was like, this fool's fucking the coolest fool ever.
Yeah.
So I would be focused, like I would just watch fucking Joey Diaz, and I seen George Perez on there, and then I seen George Perez on Joey Diaz podcast, and then he's like, yeah, I'm from Orange, I'm from right here, and I looked, I was like, who? This fool's a homie. He's like us. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to him. I want him, and I hit him up. Hey, you think I have a company, this is my brand, BZZT is weed. I want to see if I could throw my stuff on your table while you guys podcast. And he's like, yeah, fool, roll up. And fool, like I went and I took my stuff and we just hit it off. We just became like cool. And I would be there every episode. Boom, I would take them stuff and they would talk about the product. And then one day he's like, hey, come up here, because he's like, fool, you're funny, dog. We like come up, go on a podcast and just talk about your product. Let the people know what's up. So I did an episode as a guest. We have our sponsor BZZT Tommy was on here, and I was just Tommy, Tommy Bzz, from Bzz. So I would be on there talking about my stuff, and people would be like, "Hey, bring that fool back. That fool's cool. He's funny." And then George would be like, "You're on," because I would be there. He'd be like, "All right, Tommy, you can come up. The second half, come up." And I would just be on the show until I became fucking always on the show, dog. And then Ezone seen me, and he's like, "Oh, fucking come to our show. You could put your stuff on our table, and talk about your shit." And yeah, fool, I became homies with these fools, and I would be on George Perez Stories, and then on We Don't Smoke the Same, and pretty much I was like almost like a co-host on both of them. Like I would always be on these shows, and I would just be pushing, and then it just became to where it was like 3 plates. I got 3 plates was from telling stories with a side dick. He's like, "What's up, fool? You look kind of swole." He's like, "You look kind of swole, Tommy. What's up, dog? You work out or what?" And I was like, "Fool, you already know what it is." I was like, "Fool." He's like, "How much do you bench?" I said, "Fool." He's like, "How many plates?" I said, "Fool, 3." He's like, "3 plates?" I was like, "Fool, 3 plates at the gym or 3 plates at a party?" And now, fool, they were laughing, and that's it. You're 3 plates, dog. And then that's it, fool. Ever since then, that name stuck. 3 plates, Tommy. And then we just kept it going. And then comedy came through from George. He had his birthday party at the comedy store, and he's like, fucking, he threw me up on stage, dog, like without me knowing. And he's like, "You can do this shit, fool." And I went up, and when I seen what like people like reacting and they were laughing and enjoying it, and fool, my whole life I've been wanting to do entertainment, like if it was music, singing, um, fucking acting, fucking comedy, stand, whatever it was gonna be. I always wanted to do this. I wanted to be in front of the camera. I wanted people to watch me and be entertained. I wanted to fucking be entertained. I want to be a good time when people watch me on TV or whatever. I want them to like it, like be like, hell yeah, I like that shit. And when I seen this, I was like, fool, these people love this shit. I'm telling them a story, a real true fucking story that happened. Like if I'm talking to like my homies or something, and they're reacting to it and loving it, dog. And I was like, I have to do this. Like this is what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like I could tell my story, I could talk, I could let people know what's up, and this could lead me to different things, you know, to being in a commercial, to being in a fucking show, being in a movie, being hosting a fucking whatever. Like I'm like, I don't know, dog. I just seen all that shit when I was up there. I was just like, oh, this is like. Fool, I used to lock myself in the restroom at my house when I was a little kid, and I would just sing, fool, and I would just put on music, and I would fucking grab a fucking brush or whatever, and I would just sing into the mirror, and I would try to. I'll be like, all right, now I'm gonna sing like this. I'm gonna sing like this, and I would always, I was a little kid, fool, and I would do it like if someone was to say like, hey, you could sing. You're like, oh, you could. And I'll be like, yeah. And they'd be like, sing a song. I'll be like, boom. I'll be like, what do you want to hear? I could sing like this. And like, cause I never played guitar. I didn't have a instrument, so my instrument was singing. I was like, if I can't play guitar or piano or drums, and I was like, at least I can sing. At least I could try to be good at it, and I could sing in different ways. So if a rock band wanted me, I could be in a rock band. If like a reggae band, I could be that. If rappers, if Spanish, whatever would hit, like what they say, they're throwing shit at the wall right now, or what is it like? That's me. Like I wanted to at least be good at everything, and just being in a little town, I would pick up on trying to be good at everything. So like I would draw, like I would try to be good at drawing. I would try to be good at whatever, football, fucking whatever it was. Dog, I always wanted to be like where they're like, oh, hey, that's that fool. Like I don't know, dog. That's just me. Like that's even at work now, dog. Like when fools are like, damn, you're fucking everywhere now. Like you're doing this now. You're doing. I'm like, yeah, dog. Like I'm trying to fucking go up. Whatever I'm trying to do, I want to go up, dog. I want to. When I build stages at work, we build stages for big stages for like these fucking, big people, mana for fucking Peso Pluma, whatever. When I'm up there, fool, I always go up there, and everyone who's worked with me, they seem like I always go up on the stage, fool, and I just sit there and I just look around, dog, and I visualize like a concert for me. Like I visualize like fucking what I'm saying, like what's up, motherfuckers, or whatever. But I visualize that shit for me, like even looking at the video wall, and I'll be like, I'll imagine like me, like the camera angle at me with all that shit. Because I always say like visualization, that shit, it gets you to where you're trying to go. Fool, like if you could picture every single part of what you're trying to do, and you work at it, you'll get there, dog. And I got that from Joey Diaz. Writing goals, like if whatever you want to be, imagine yourself like you want a job. Imagine yourself driving to work every day, the exit, getting into the job, telling what's up to the fools on the front door, all that. And eventually that fool, I told my homies, I was like, one day I'm gonna be at fucking Joy Diaz watch. Now I'm gonna be blazing it with him in the church of what's happening now. And they're like, yeah, right, Dick, you fucking we watch this for all day. You're gonna be right there. And this was before fucking this was before anything. I was like, watch, I'm gonna do that shit, fool. And they're like, well, all right. And then fool, I did it. I I was in the chair, like watching this fool, fucking Lee right there, and I was taking bong rips out of the that bong that's on the table, and I sent my homies a message, like a video. I was like, look, motherfuckers, I'm right here, dog. I told you fools, and they were like pumped. They're like, damn, tell me you did that shit, dog. And I was like, fool. Once I did that, I was like, there's there's nothing you can't, dog. Like if you can work and you have figure your way out. Even at work, fool. Like I used to work doing sales, and there was these companies that people couldn't get, and I would be like, I would figure my way to get in there. Like how, what the fuck can I do to get to this company? And I would call and ask for a certain person. I'd be like, hey, I'll have a meeting with Scott, and they'll be like, Scott. I'll be like the dude in charge of the employment agencies. I'm calling from here, and I have a meeting. They're like, oh, that's David. He's the guy that you talked to for the agencies. Well, he's not gonna be here till 1. I'll be like, cool, boom, 1 o'clock. What's up, David? And he's like, yeah. I'll be like, hey, this is Tommy. I'm supposed to talk to you about the agency. And they're like, fuck, they're switching it again. All right, well, and what's your rates or whatever? And I'll be like, boom, and he'll be like, all right, well, come in here and talk to me tomorrow. I'll be like, all right, cool. And I'll be like, fuck, dog. Yeah, boo. And they would be like, how'd you get them? I'll be like, I fucking told them that I was already gonna meet with them, and I would be there, and it was the same thing. I would drive the companies, and I would get there. I'll be like, I would see people walking in, and I'm like, I'm just gonna act like I'm one of these fools, and I would park my car and just walk, and then they'd be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm looking for the guy in charge of the agencies, and they're like, oh, that's me. come here. And I'll be like, oh, so what do you got for us? And I'll be like, boom, 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 boom. And they would be like, all right, we'll try you out. And I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, dog, I wasn't even going to try to get this spot. And it would be like one of our biggest clients, you know, like, I don't know, dog. I would always just do visualization, like whatever you're trying to do, visualize that shit, work at it. Because, you know, you can't just throw a vision board up and be like, I want a fucking Ferrari. And be like, it's going to show up in 2 days. No, you got to work how to get to there. And that's what I do, dog. Like, everything. Work with a food like comedy, like you know, just doing shows, you know, opening for George, for Edwin, for Concrete, like all these like people that before I would just watch, you know, and I'd be like, damn, these fools are killing it. These fools are sick, you know, to meeting them and you know, being able to work with them. It's crazy, and it's like, so I'm grateful for all that. But like to be where I'm at, like in comedy, to be able to work with these fools and be at the spots where I've done comedy and everything. It's like there's fools that have been doing it for a while, dog. That they haven't got there, they don't, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, dog. Like some people, they're like, hey, how the fuck you why are you there? And it's like, I don't know, dog. I just try to work. I
just believe in myself.
I just believe in myself. I try to work, and I always tell myself, how the fuck can I link with these motherfuckers? Because my goal is here, but like I know that like these, you know, to get to here, I have to go through all this and all this. But the goal is here, dog. So whatever I can do to get me up here, I'm gonna try to do that, or figure out how or where, what I have to do. And you know, I'm like, it's you have to work, dog. You have to work. I write comedy. I fucking record myself. I try out new shit. And you know, and what is it, like aventado? Like, I'm like, fuck it, hey, what's up? And I'll do it. Like if fools are like, hey, can you do fucking? You think you do 20 minutes? I'm like, yes. Yes, I can.
Not
do 20.
knowing.
Yeah, hey, can you do fucking? But sometimes, well, in comedy, you can't do that. You can't be like, yeah, I could do fucking 30 minutes, and you can't, dog. They'll be like, hey, get this motherfucker out of here right now. So I'm, you know, if I know that I can do it, and if I know I'm just being scared and I could do, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I still psych myself out before I go up on stage and everything. Like, I get all nervous, fool, like big time before I go up. I'm like, fuck. I tried 30 ways of talking myself out of it, and everyone's like, why are you all serious, fool? I'm like, because I'm about to go up on stage right now, fool, you know? And they're like, you're good, fool. You have fucking 5-minute spot. That shit ain't shit. These fools are doing an hour. I'm like, ah, fucking wait on 5 minutes. But it's like, cause it's like,
take it serious.
Fool, I like, I don't know what it is, fool. I'm always like, I just want to be like good, dog. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, he does. Like, oh yeah, that fool's he does comedy. Like, yeah, I want to be like, hey, this motherfucker, he's, you know, like, I don't know, dog. That's just how I am. Like, I grew up like, I always wanted to be like seen, like, oh, that's the way he's good. Like, oh, you know, a fool that could draw, that fool Tommy draws good. You know, oh, you want this, like that fool Tommy does it. Or motherfucking pop blocking, like dancing and shit. Fool, like I used to pop and I would always try to be the best, like the best at whatever I did. I was like, I want to be good or try to be the best. Like, and if you, I guess what that mentality of doing that is, I'm not, of course, I'm not the best or even good at anything, but it helps me to try to be good. Like, trying to make myself be the good or the best at something makes me be on it with whatever I'm doing. Like, it makes me be focused and driven to be like, all right, fool, if you really want to be like one of the good guys or one of the best, you got to put in mad work for that shit. You got to do all this shit. And I try to do that shit. And even if I'm not good or if I'm not one of the best, at least I'm fucking trying, you know? And that's what I try to do, dog, with whatever, like, with anything.
When it
And
comes
that's
to
why, like, with comedy, that's why it's like I'm doing shows that are like, hey, dog, you're doing shows here, here, there.
yeah, big spots.
And I just try to get, have, just give fools a good time. Like, I just want people to enjoy it and be like, hey, that it was cool seeing you, you know, and we want to see you again. And eventually, I want to work at it to where I'm doing spots to people to where eventually it's my own.
Yeah.
And by the time I have my own headlining spots, I already have like my show. So like where I have my show where I'm singing and I'm doing my comedy and I'm having fucking cool ass guests coming in, all that shit. Like I want to have like a sick ass show where people are like, dog, you gotta go to this fool show. That shit's sick. We're flying out there when if he's gonna be in your town, so we'll fly out there to go with you guys. That type shit.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to entertainment, in baseball they call it like 5 tool, 4 tool guy, right? Pitch, hit, run, steal, whatever. But in entertainment, you're funny, you sing, you pop lock,
Yeah, motherfucker.
you dance,
Do
right?
the worm backwards, sick.
Do you feel like you're more of a guy that can try anything and be good at it, or are you a kind of guy that tries and works hard at one thing until he's good, or does everything come easy to you?
Nah, not. No, I just fucking I just get a little piece of everything. Like I one thing that I do have is like whatever I'm doing at a time, I focus heavy on it. Like before, like random shit. When I was a little kid, I used to like pit bulls a lot. Like that was my favorite shit was dogs, pit bulls. So anything with pit bull that I could read about pit bulls or watch videos of or sure whatever, I would get it and I would do it and I would like research it and fucking figure out everything about pit
Hyper
bulls.
focus.
I would do that to everything. So with comedy, I do that. With graffiti, dog, like with graffiti was a big fucking chunk of my life is art, dog. Like I was an artist when I first moved out here from Ridgecrest. Like I didn't really have homies, so my I would just do graffiti. I would go to work and then do graffiti, and I met most of my friends now from doing graffiti. You know, made and with that made a fucking huge impact in graffiti, dog, and people don't even know that side of
Do
me.
people know what you write?
No.
And you don't put it out there?
Nah. But it's big, you know, like
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, you're like what we started is big, dog." And it's always like same focus. I was like, "I want to be we're doing graffiti, dog. We're doing this graffiti shit. I want to be one of these. I want to be one of the big motherfuckers in graffiti." And it happened, you know, and it's the same shit, dog, with the mentality. It's like this fool did graffiti and made some shit from graffiti. This fool did some shit from comedy and just doing some shit with comedy. This fool, whatever I'm trying to do, and like I always try to
big.
be.
Are you're a middle child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm fool. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby.
You're the baby?
I'm the baby brother.
Okay. Do you think you have do you think your mom instilled unbelievable undeniable love and confidence into you, or were you looking for attention?
Nah, my mom would fucking. I was like,
Would she believe in you?
Yeah.
Anything you did.
Like, well, you know what? Yeah, but not. They wouldn't push me to a lot of shit. It was just like, oh, si canta.
Yeah.
Like I would sing fool when I was a little kid, dog, and even my mom now, she's like, we regret we never put you into talent contest or some shit because you were good. You were a little kid, and they would be like, hey, like people knew that you were the little kid that sang, and so you were singing La Puerta Negra. You were a little kid, and but we never. Like, it was just like, oh, it's something you did, and they didn't push me.
When you were little, you knew you were a good singer?
Yeah.
And did you get mad that people didn't like, damn, like, what the fuck, I'm good?
No, I fucking never believed in myself as a singer because I would be like, dog, I'm never gonna sing like fucking a sick ass fool, you know, like. And then when I got older, I was like, hey, I could sing like these fools, you know. But I never. I went to American Idol. I went to American Idol, dog, and I think that's what kind of was like, all right, dog. Singing in it.
What happened?
I seen sick ass singers like these people that were singing, I was like, damn, they sing like that's a singer. And they didn't pass. I'm not passing, you know. But I and I went through, but I went and auditioned still. But they were like, hey, we already picked everyone, but you guys can still audition to let you know if you should come back next year or not.
Oh, and you did it?
And I was like, fuck it, I'm here, dog. I drove all the way to San Francisco.
So who were the judges?
It was when you go, it's just like a tents, and it's just a gang of different judges, but they're not
Regular
famous
people.
They're just regular like vocal coaches and bullshit. Nobody famous, dog. I was like, we see Ryan Seacrest, bitch ass. He came out and was like, hey guys, what's up? And we're like, oh. But fool, I went and I sang, and then I sang, and they were like, oh, you're good. They're like, oh, you should have came earlier. Like you should have came yesterday.
Damn.
You would have for sure passed. I was like, all right, fuck. But I was like, that's it, dog. I'm not gonna do this singing shit. And that killed a lot of my singing shit. Like I never. That's why I started singing again on fucking the podcast. When they'd be like, "What's up, Tommy? You singing shit?" And I would sing and I would do corridos, because that's like my main thing. I love singing. I love singing, dog. Like singing is that's my passion. Like when I'm sad. When I'm sad, I'll sing. When I'm happy, I'll sing. When I'm feeling chilling, I'm sing. When I'm bored, I sing. And the same thing with, I think, with comedy. I used to record myself doing comedy before I was even thinking. Before I met George, before I met even thinking of doing stand up, I would record myself, because I would just be like, I would just think some shit's funny, and I would record myself, and I always imagine that man from Bebe's Kids, Robin Harris. I would always imagine him saying my jokes, and I would be like, "Oh, that it would be funny." And like some of my, like when I first started doing the stuff, my material was shit that I recorded, fucking 2016, 2000. Like from there, I would be like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna do this," and it hit. Like a lot of my jokes is just from shit that I would think of back then, and I recorded myself and I made it into a joke. Like I made it into material, And I do that. I write material. I record. My girl will say some shit, or something would happen, and I'll be like, "Oh, I gotta record this," because if you don't record it right there, fool, you'll forget it. Be like, "Oh, I'm gonna record it later."
Yeah.
No, you gotta record it right there when your hands are still dirty. Like I'll put my phone on record, boom, and then I'll record that. I'll be like, oh, talk about this and that, or I'll say like, oh, I'll say the joke, and they'll give me enough rough draft to when I go back to it, I'll be like, I'll make it into something. Like I'll have my jokes that I do now recorded, and I'll be like, damn, this like I recorded it like fucking 12 times, and trying to figure out the delivery, or adding a little salsa to it, or whatever. Like how they said, like your joke's never finished. So if you ever think your joke's finished, like you're finished. That's Ralphie May said that. He's like, if you ever think that your joke is done, you're done.
Damn.
He's like, you could always bring that joke back from '96. Like him, he's been doing. He's like, yeah, I'll bring a joke back from 2003 that popped in my head at that moment. Boom, I throw it in here. They're dead. He's all kill them right there with that one. He's like, you always bring some back or add some to it. Or hey, we're talking about this topic. I'm gonna say my joke about this, and it's just whatever hits. So I'm always adding to jokes or taking it away, or using that same like thought, but in a different way. Like instead of this fool, my neighbor asking me about something, it's my Uber driver asking me about something. Instead of doing, it's just different things that I've done, with comedy that I've learned, and learned what, just it's always learning, fool. Like every comic that I talk to, I try to ask them some shit, because the fool's been doing it forever. I'm like, hey, what advice, and I'm new, dog. I still like suck and all this shit. Like I go up there, I still second guess myself, and I'm trying this, but it's going good. I'm still like it's something that I'm working at. That was what I like. That you get better at it. Like you get better at comedy. The more you work at it, you get the more like, all right, this is how it is. Like I'm learning to slow down. Like fools are like, you got this much material, but you're fucking going. You have the crowd going crazy, so you crunch it down to this much because you want to just keep drilling them with laughs. They're like, no, hit them and then let them laugh. Get that gap, hit them, and then fool hit them again with that one, But slow it down because you're killing them. But you could have this much material, but you're
Getting
shutting
excited.
it down. I'm like, but I get excited for you, dog. I'm like, oh hell yeah, what's up? What, like, hell, like you just get pumped up.
I would imagine that being on stage making people laugh is probably one of the best feelings in the world. It looks like it's fun.
Fool, it's fun, it's cool, but it's a lot of thinking, dog. You gotta you gotta figure out these fools like what they want to laugh at, cause you can't come out doing your fucking. You gotta figure out like what the fuck you're gonna talk about to certain crowds. You can't talk about fucking getting no hole to like if you're in Huntington Beach at a crowd of surfing fools or whatever fools that don't know English. You're fucking Wisconsin. You're not gonna talk about paisa shit. They won't relate. So you have to think of that. You have to think about your next shit. You have to think about it's fun. But I'm not at the fun stage yet. Right now, I'm at the stage where like, all right, I'm like, I hope this gets this works right now. What I'm shooting out there. Hopefully, they like it. That's where it's at. It's fun. I love it. But when I'm up there, it's cool. I'm like enjoying it. Hell yeah! But I'm at the same time, I'm thinking like, fuck, make this. This joke's gonna hit. Do this one. And sometimes I'll be like, damn, I didn't even do these jokes. That that's the whole thing I was trying to do is these jokes, and you won't do them. So it's just, I'm in a learning process right now, but it's going good. I'm opening for these sick, super dope people, and hopefully like in the talks and works of like touring with these guys and being their opener. And yeah, dog, the reels, it's pretty cool.
When fools see you like in public, you know what I mean? Like, what is the one thing that they say like, oh, I know you from this place because you're like on fucking George Perez Stories. You're on We Don't Smoke the Same. You're on everybody's podcast as a guest. Now you're on the Lit Outlet as well,
Yeah.
right? What do people recognize you for?
Whenever people see me, they're always like, "Wait a minute, Your Majesty!" Every time. When I see them, we don't got a lot of time. I'll be like, "Hey!" They'll be like, "3 plates." I'll be like, "What's up, G?" Like, it's a trip. A lot of people notice me, like I said, from George's. Like a lot of people from George's, and then from the just the quotes, like just the blood in blood out quotes and shit. Like, even like at Disneyland people like I'll be walking, people like, "Hey, 3 plates," and we're like, "What's up?" And they'll say a quote, and I'm like, I trip out. Even at work, fool. When I'll be at work, I'll be in the middle of work, and some fool like on the other side, they'll be like 3 plates, and I'll look and they'll be like, "What's up, dog?" And hey, and we're like, "We watch you on the podcast," and I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like it's a trip, and some people are like, "What are you doing here?" They're like, "Hey, fool, we see you're doing comedy. You have shows. You're doing with concrete. You're opening up for all these people. Like, why are you working right here?" And I'm like, "Fool, I work. I like how I say, I got a family. I got to work. I'm doing this. I'm doing this until I can do it full time.
Mm.
Like I'm working at it to where comedy is full time comedy, and if whatever else comes with it, it's full time, and it's going good, dog. Like we're gonna film a pilot. Like my first filming shit is we're filming a pilot with the concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and if that takes off, it's that'll be dope. Like be on a TV show, and I'm getting written in as a character in the TV show, so I'll be on the show, and from there to everything else that comes with it. Like I don't know, dog. I'm just trying to make something some happen, some big like I told you, my whole life has been me trying to make something happen. And now when people recognize me and see me, I trip out. Danny Trejo, I was in the middle of work. I did a freestyle festival, and I was working right there, fucking in chinga, going crazy. And then Kool Aid's like, hey, she seen me, Kool Aid. She's like, what's up? I was like, what's up, Kool Aid? She's like, hey, I want to introduce you to Danny. He wants to meet you. And I went and it was Danny Trejo, and he's like, "What's up? 3 plates?"
That Danny?
Yeah, dog. I was like, "What's up?" And just just it was just a trip. I'm in the middle of work, dog, and Kool Aid right there. Kool Aid's OG in the game. Then Danny Trejo and like Coda the Barber, their managers, like everyone, like all these people, like they'll recognize me and know me, and I'm like, I'm right here at work, like but they see it, they see like, hey, this fool, he's out here doing the shit, but he's working, and eventually I'm gonna be right here, like, the goal is to be at these fucking places and being one of the stars at these events, not just being a guest, like not just being a fool that's invited to go see the show. Like I want to be one of the motherfuckers that's this show, like you're a part of this show, like and it's dope. Like I've been working with Concrete a lot. Like we do a monthly show at the Covina Laugh Factory called the Class Clowns, which we're probably gonna try to take it to different cities, different places, and if it pops off, tour with that shit. It's called Class Clowns, and it's a segment with like comics go up, you do your sets, and then after we do skits, live skits, different improv and where I'm doing that. I do a monthly at the Flappers with Duno.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm opening for Duno. It's that's our workout room. So Marty from LR Management, he's giving us these rooms so we could work out our material at to where you work out your new stuff, old stuff, everything. So to build up our time, our
That's like
material
in front of people.
to where it's a yeah, it's a show.
What's the
You're
difference? What's the
opening.
difference between like a working room, like you said, and then the Covina Laugh Factory?
No, well, the Covina, those are they're actually your actual set. Like it's a company event. Like you're opening. With Duno too, you're opening, but it's a workout room. So we're gonna be there every month, and every month we're gonna be there. We work out all our new stuff.
Mm.
Like all the new stuff we've been writing that we've been trying, we go right there and we try it out. And so we'll be there every month. We'll have that. We're gonna be at the Ice House every month, and we're working something out. So we're gonna be in Santa Ana at Cervecacito doing a monthly, and hopefully I'll be like the headliner, kinda. But it's kind of like I'll be hosting it and making the show. So I'll have cool comics come up like Concrete and Duno, whoever's down, for the homies, that we're gonna make this event. So have that monthly. That way we have monthly shows around, build up our stuff, and that way I can start headlining. And then once I'm headed for the headline, I could go anywhere, and that's the goal. Mm-hmm. It's the headline, and that's when you're able to do your own show. You could bring in your own people. You could do like what I'm trying to do is entertainment, hosting, like doing music, singing the songs that I wrote. I have corridos that I wrote and like oldies and different stuff that people like, kind of like funny parody songs that people would like to hear. And we go on, like when they come, they'll hear those songs like, oh, he's gonna fucking play the La Bamba, or he's gonna play the corrido of Tupac. He's gonna do it. Like we're gonna watch them for they have a band and shit. So that's what I'm trying to bring out is like a good ass entertaining show that people want to go to, and you know, build from there, do other shit, and eventually do like TV shit, like a show, like have a TV show with like a Martin, you know, or or make movies like that. That's a goal, dog. Like funny comedy and serious movies, because we have like growing up, fool, you have a lot of ideas and a lot of fucking stories that you heard of just being a kid that would be a dope ass movie, dog. Like even just like some fools like how their family came over here, you know, from the struggle from a family, you know, from how, you know, cuando venimos para acá, you know, era tu tía and these, you know, how people have their story like crossing over when they first came. That shit, like we have a lot of stories of just growing up Hispanic people, you know, and of shit that you went to that would be dope ass movies for people to see. Even stories like a fucking Llorona movie, you know, just different shit like that that tell different stories that it would be cool to do something like that, you know, just bring, like I said, movies, entertainment, all that shit.
When you're on the podcast, fool, or you're like on stage, like you have to turn it on, right? Turn on the entertainment side, right?
Yes.
But what happens when you go back home to your lady? Like, does she
It's-
tell you? Does she get bothered when you try to be funny, or you just try to
Nah,
stop
fool.
being funny, or you just like
Dog,
this all the time?
No, when it's in front of camera in or comedy show, it's lights, camera, action. That's
Different
three
Tommy.
plates, dog.
Okay,
That's,
3 plates.
that motherfucker's up there. But when I'm chilling, like if you see me at work or whatever, I'm not like, oh hey, like all fucking
Look at me.
jokes or whatever. I fuck around a lot, but I'm not like, oh hey, you know. And people will be like, you're a fucking comedian, dude. And I'll be like, oh yeah. And they'll be like, yes. Other fools are like, yeah, this fool does that shit. And I'll be like, nah. And they'll be like, yeah. And they'll be like,
Nah.
oh shit, you're fucking dude. You're not even this fool right here. Like, who the fuck is this? You know? And I'm like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, but I've always been funny. Like, I've always been funny. No, like, I've always just been a fucking, like, clowning and fucking around. Just a good time, fool. Like, I just want people to just have a good time, dog. When we're blazing it, I'll be telling stories. But all that fucking storytelling and podcasting shit, fool, everyone that knows me, they're like, fool, if you know Tommy, that's Tommy.
Mm.
Like, if you've been drunk with fucking Tommy in his backyard, and that's fucking Tommy right there. Like, I've always been that fool, just telling stories and fucking, hey, fucking. My homies would always tell me, like, dog, you need to be a comedian, dog, because I'll see homies from that I haven't seen in like 2 years, 3 years. I'll see them like, I'll be in their town and I'll be like, hey, what's up? Pull up. I'm over here. And they'll be like, hey, we'll chill. And fool, they'll be like, dog, we were just talking for an hour, fool. I was dying the whole time, fool. You didn't even let me talk, fool. You were just telling me a fucking story the whole fucking time about, you know? And that's what I do when I go up on stage. I'm like, I'm just telling stories, but I add more salsa to it. But they're jokes too. But some of them, I'm like, this is some real shit. Like, I tell jokes about like my mom. Every time that I get sick, fool, my mom thinks I have ojo. And I'm like, dog, like, ojo's that shit. Little kids get ojo. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking shit. Nah, tu tío tenía como 30 le de ojo. I'm like, nah. Like, shoot, every time I get sick with an ache and shit. And that's, I say like, I have jokes about that I say on stage. And it's like, those are real stories. And that's real, dog. You know, like, the shit that I've been to, I talk about that on stage and on the podcast. I just tell stories about what I've been through, and then people are like, "Oh, dog, the same shit happened to me," or whatever. You know, I just say real shit. But yeah, fool, it's like podcast me is like podcast is like that's how I am. But on the comedy, it's like that's how.
Go extra.
No, it's just like I don't know, dog. I don't know what the fuck happens up there. It's just like, fool. When we do skits and all that, it's like, even my brother-in-law, he went to the show, and he's like, damn, fool. He's like, he's all that Tommy that at the comedy show. He's like that. It's like way. They're like, that's not the Tommy we see here with the when you guys come over to the house and shit. And they're like, he's like, that's super cool. It's like, he's on you that you're funny, you know. Like, you know, when you invite fools to like, oh, go to my show, and it's like, fuck, dog. At least they're like, hey, you fucking killed it, dog. Like, it was hilarious. And I'm like, cool, because it's like, fuck, you know, because if you go to it, you invite a fool to your show and you bomb that day or something, it's like, fuck, that sucks. Because they're like, damn, I thought this fool was gonna kill it, dog, and he kind of didn't, you know. And it's kind of quiet ride home. You know, like when you get beat up, but the homies they pick you up. When you get beat up, no, you get in the car, no, it's just quiet. You're just like, yeah, dog. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that happened. That happened.
you're just driving, the fool's changing the radio, and the fool's looking out the window like, y'all fucked up, dog. Like, damn, homie, drop me off. You stay right here. Like, yeah. That's what it is, fool. Like, I just try to, cause right now, fool, cause I'm new and I've only been doing it for so long. I feel like the white fool in the barrio.
Mm.
You gotta fucking like the white fools always they gotta prove it, dog. Like not have to, but I'm saying I've noticed like when it's like the white kid in the neighborhood or whatever, they have to fucking prove that shit, fool, that they're with it as much as all the other little kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like I have to, because there's every time everyone's always like, oh, you're this fool's homie, that's why you're here, kind of like, nah, like I'm not here. I'm here because, you know, like these fools, they seen me and they're like, hey, come and do this shit.
Yeah,
And
I'm
fools,
actually
fools
funny.
are like, hey, they tell me, like, even George, he's like, fool, we bring you on not because you're our homie, dog. We have a gang of homies that do comedy. He's like, all our homies do comedy. Dog, we bring you in because you deserve to be here. You know, you're funny, dog. You entertain people. People like fucking seeing you. That's why you're here. Not because you're my friend or because you know fucking this fool. No, it's because you know you do your shit, and that's why I'm like, hell yeah. You know, and I but I always feel like I have to like prove myself, like go out there every time throwing chingazos, like because you're like fools are like, who the fuck is this guy? Like why is he here, dog? Like all of a sudden this fool's popping up. Who is this? And I want him to be like, oh shit, this fool's actually funny. And that's what I'm trying to do, dog. Entertain people, have a good time, and that's what it is. Tell my story.
Fucking I'm a big fan of the George Perez Stories podcast, and I definitely seen you on there a million times. You like Blood In Blood Out way more than American Me, huh?
Well, yeah, well, Blood In
Why?
Blood Out. Blood In Blood Out is the first movie that like. That's the I seen Blood In Blood Out before I seen American Me.
Mm.
And Blood In Blood Out, that was the shit we would always watch, fool. Like me and my homies, we would watch Blood In Blood Out for forever. And then American Me was was dope to me, you know. But I didn't get to watch it because I don't know why my parents were like, don't watch that shit. It was like too real.
Mm.
I think maybe it was like, nah, this one's like the real shit. And my dad was like, nah, no, I know that's so.
Well, a lot of fools died because of it,
And
right?
yeah, and then I don't know what it. Yeah, and but for American Me, that's I love that shit.
I saw American Me first, and then Blood In Blood Out after.
Yeah,
So to me, I always liked American Me because it looked newer and like fresher,
yeah,
and I feel like the acting was better.
yeah.
But you have the fucking quotes locked down for Blood In Blood Out, phone.
And then now it's on Hulu. That shit's clear.
Yeah?
You seen it? You're
No,
like,
I haven't seen
damn,
it.
Miklos does have blue eyes. I was like, God, damn. For real, fool. Yeah, I trip out. I was like, damn, fool, this shit is clear. Because you always see the little
school.
foggy version, you know,
Mhm.
the YouTube version. And then yeah, now when I see it on Hulu, I'm like, it's clear. But yeah, dog, I love Blood In Blood Out. Fool.
You got to meet that fool Popeye, no?
Popeye, seen that fool. We did a roast of Popeye. We did a roast right here in LA. Me, George, Concrete, Frank Castillo, like Martin Moreno, Earl Skako. All these, like we all did a roast of Popeye. It was dope. A gang of people came. It was
You got to roast them?
cool. Yeah, well, I was
What'd you
one of
tell
the
'em?
roasters.
What'd
So
you tell 'em,
just
fool?
talk. Just when I tell them, I said that fool Popeye was in the movie Speed. I said, what did I say? I said the only difference between the bus from from Speed and Popeye is that the bus blew up. And, but yeah, dog, that shit. It was a fucking funny ass roast. It was a good ass time, but I try to memorize all my roasting shit because I was the first fool up there, dog.
Ah, fuck.
And everyone had their books of the roasting, and I was just going by my head, and I didn't want to keep looking in the books because I didn't know. But yeah, fool, you could just be reading books. And fool, I had jokes for days on fools, but I only did the ones that I memorized in my head because I didn't want to be looking at the books. But it was a sick ass role. It was fun. It was dope. I got to meet Popeye and all that. And then even Miklo, fool, he threw a shout out. Some fool in Wichita, this fool, the homie sees out there, he has a tattoo shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Por Vida Inc. in Wichita. He, that fool got Miklo to do a shout out to Three Plates. And I was like, what's up, Three Plates? I heard you doing my quotes. And fucking, I was like, Dick in Wichita, you know, that's super cool. Like, some, that fool sent it to me, and it's like, Miklo, that fool, Big Puppet, from him too. He's like, Three Plates, Tommy. Like, all these people, we're supposed to have these people on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
We just got our new studio built out, so we're gonna start coming out with a whole bunch of episodes. We have like really cool guests, and just we took a little break because we're building out the studio, and because I started doing all this other shit, and then I'm gonna be a fucking pinup model. I'm gonna be a
Bro,
fucking for Suavecito. I'm gonna be for their commercials. So I'm gonna do Suavecito commercials like with their product and their like hair shit, and then I'm gonna start doing skits and reels for them. Well, with them, like for with Suavecito.
Oh, I think I've seen something like that.
And their shit. So I'm gonna start doing those. I'm just trying to just
Stay busy.
stay busy doing that, doing comedy, doing shows, and just linking with a whole bunch of people that give me the opportunity to be able to open and make something happen, make magic. We're doing a song, that song that I want to get a tattoo. We're doing that song. We're recording it, and then me and this Coda the barber. He's a musician. He's with Trejo's music with Denny Trejo. Me and him are gonna link up and make something. He goes on like tours and he has little like shows like, and he's gonna throw me up on stage at his shows just to sing some fucking jams with him or whatever we write or just cover, just to go up there and have a good time, So
Yeah.
just like things are legging up,
Fucking in my opinion, fool, you, George Perez, have brought back a resurgence of the popularity of blood out by yourselves.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys made that shit pop again?
I noticed. I was like, yeah, we were the only ones that were doing that shit. Like the quotes, saying all this shit, like just bringing it back, and then little by little, people were like, "Hey, this shit's popping off," and now it's a big ass one. I'm like, I'm not saying we kicked off that whole movement, which I don't know, dog. Cause
I think you did.
Hey, fool,
I think you did.
We kicked that shit off pretty good, but it just got a big ass wave, But yeah, a lot of these fools that started doing that shit, they all know like what's up there, like with Three Plates and George. We're the ones that we do the quotes and we talk about blood in, blood out, and yeah, like you said, food. Like I never really noticed it too much, but yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah, you brought that shit back. Fool. There's even pages that just post that shit now.
Yeah,
just post like little clips of the movie.
yeah, they're just
where before no one was
blood
doing
in, blood
that
out.
shit.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, if you go back to like their first, when they first started, it was after we were already doing a whole bunch of shit, which is this is dope though. It's super cool. They're having all this shit. Like, I think that's tight. And Blood in, Blood Out. Before I trip out on a lot of Blood in, Blood Out, they do like tours everywhere. You could meet and greet and all that. They'll play it like when they had the reunion over here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first ones we went and they had Blood and Blood Out on a big screen. That was tight, dog. Just to sit in the theater and watch it was like hell yeah. It would have been cool back in the day,
Yeah.
What?
My boy, I appreciate you putting up to the podcast. First of all, putting up to a small ass podcast like myself,
No,
like,
hell
that
no.
shows.
It's popping, fool. Hey, this shit right here, like it's lit. You're putting a dent in the game. You're doing it right, and fool, keep doing this shit. Thank you for inviting me, for having me on here, and hoping ain't the And
First
it's
and
our
last.
only time,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna be honest,
be
fool.
back.
I was a little starstruck when you replied and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, fuck, fool, if I get 3 plates Tommy on here,
You
fool.
be on here, what's he gonna say? His fucking
I'm all
stories?
like, fool, like, we need to act normal. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need to fan out because there's very few people that, you know, that I've gotten on here. I'm like, I've been watching this fool for a long time. It's a fucking trip. And I'm sure you've gone it through where you are on somebody else's podcast or you have a guest like, damn, this was famous right here.
Fuck yeah, dog. We're like, you don't even.
Yeah, like you try not to do too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, fool, I appreciate you pulling up. This podcast is gonna drop on Tuesday. Do you have anything coming up that you want to let the people know that's gonna be out?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be October 18th. I'm gonna be opening for Duno at Flappers in Burbank, and also I'll be at the Bellflower, the stand up in Bellflower on November 1st. With me, Eddie West, and different other comics. You guys can check it out. Just go to Holding It Down with 3 plates on Instagram, or just put 3 plates. You'll see my page, and then I'll be posting everything that's coming up for my shows and what's popping. Just be on the lookout.
Yeah, and you know that when Duno was 18 or 17, he came here and I interviewed him. That was his first podcast that he was on.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 years ago.
No way.
And now that fool's popping, fool.
Dog, fucking
That
big,
fool's
huh?
fucking famous as fuck, dog. It's a trip.
It's a trip for all that. You know the internet, fool. The Instagram.
And he's always been super consistent.
Yeah.
And he's smart because he'll go on different podcasts. Like he's been doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so young and shit like that.
And that's how you build a name, and now he has fucking brown bag, all those.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope, dog, to see the progress of people,
Yeah. If you guys are still watching, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Leave as many comments as you can on YouTube. Make sure you guys join our Patreon. We have a new Patreon. It's $30 a month. You get a free shirt or a free hat every month. And we also have the $2 and $3 tiers if you guys want to support the show. Thank you guys for watching. And like I always say, pull up, turn up, stay lit. Let's get it.